A Kano State High Court has restrained the 15th Emir of Kano, Aminu Bayero, and 4 others dethroned Bichi, Rano, Gaya, and Karai emirs from parading themselves as emirs. Now, while delivering judgment over the matter, Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu held that the Kano State House of Assembly has the power to amend and propose a bill for the peace and good governance of the state, while the judge also restrained the police and other security agencies from violating, disobeying, or tampering the Kano State Emirate Law 2024. While the case was filed by the Attorney General of Kano State, Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, and Kano State House of Assembly through their counsel, Ibrahim Isa Wangida.
For more, let's bring in the Sarkin Dawaki, Babba of Kano, Aminu, Babba. Good to see you, and thanks for your time. Well, Kano has been in the news, and I know it doesn't excite you, but with this new development, what can you tell us?
Thank you very much. I am sure you are aware that both courts, that is the Bayero High Court and the State High Courts, can entertain matters of fundamental human rights under the Fundamental Human Right Enforcement Rule 2009. Therefore, this is what I went to court to change that law in the first place. And God so kind, there was a court ruling delivered by Justice Liman, an order restraining the state government, the House of Assembly, from restraining them from doing anything regards to that law, pending the determination of the suits which is before Liman, Justice Liman. But before then, he gave that ruling and said we should stay where we are, maintain status quo ante, meaning everybody will stay where he is before the law, meaning that all the emirs will be where they are. They will remain emirs until the final determination of that suit. Having given that ruling, the judge went ahead to say that they should come and address him on the jurisdiction of whether he has the jurisdiction to entertain that suit or not, which we did, and he said he has the right to entertain the case. It's very, very unfortunate now that the state government that has appealed on that judgment, on this judgment, which has been slated for in the next 3 days, the Court of Appeal will hear that case. They were the ones that appealed on that judgment. Then they went to the State High Court and asked the court to make these orders. For me, it's very, very unfortunate.
Why do you say so?
Why I said so, because even the Chief Justice of Nigeria some few days ago was talking about these conflicting orders. These two courts has equal right. So this judge has no right whatsoever to entertain this case, as far as I know.
But now that
people have been talking about judicial rascality, this is what it is now. Because that judge cannot sit over a matter that was before somebody of equal jurisdiction. She cannot. And this is what the Chief Justice has been talking. They will furnish any judge that gives this kind of conflicting order. So for me, if there is any chaos in Kano, we will hold that judge, or I will appeal to the security agents to hold her responsible.
Are you saying the fallout of this judgment may lead to a chaotic situation in Kano State, or is it not some interested parties who really just want to whip up sentiments? Are you saying that you will not stand by what this court has ruled on?
Of course. Nobody is going to even agree with what he has done, because she is under some people's lesson. Some people are guiding her what to do. There is no way. This order that Justice Liman has given, whether rightly or wrongly, whether it is right or it is wrong, they must follow it. They can only appeal against that order. The State High Court has no right whatsoever to go and give a conflicting order, and that can bring problem in Kano.
Don't you think the politicization of the Emir's stool, an institution that's lasted about 1,000 years, don't you think all of this is damaging the emirship in Kano?
It is very correct. You see, the mistake has been done, as far as I know. In the first place, the appointment of Ibn Sanusi in the first place was not right. Because the position of the Emir of Kano, you inherit it. The Emir of Kano, Aminu Bayero, his father was the Emir of Kano, Bayero. He was there for over 60 years. His father, his grandfather, his grandfather has been the Emir of Kano. On his mother's side, his mother was a princess from Ilorin. Her father, her grandfather were the emirs of Ilorin. Lamido, his father, was never an emir. In the history of Kano, over 200 years, there has never been a kind of situation that has happened the way it happens to Lamido. Because there has never been an emir that was appointed the Emir of Kano his father was not an emir. He's the first.
Sarkin Dawaki, listening to you now, are you saying in Kano?
Yes.
Or now let's talk about Emirate politics, which is also enmeshed in the Islamic traditions.
True.
Are you saying when the government is reaching out to get a new emir, they don't consult some of the traditional people like yourself and others who understand the history and culture of the people?
You see, it's very, very unfortunate. I'm sure you know what has happened.
No, we don't know. That's what we're asking.
I'm sure you know.
Are you saying you were not consulted?
Is it possible that the politicians will do this in isolation?
Arbitrarily?
You know?
It is possible. There is something that was done. Anyway, I'm sure you are aware that even why Sanusi is back, because he has paid for it.
I don't get you. He's paid for it.
He has paid. He has given them money. He has given the governor and Konkoso money.
You mean
he funded their campaign?
You mean money was paid?
Yes, he was. He said it.
And you have the evidence. You have
of course, I have the evidence. He paid money. That's why he came back.
That's a very serious allegation. But are you saying
it's not an allegation?
Are you saying
even Lamido himself said it.
Does he belong to the royal family of Kano?
His father, yes. His father was an emir. His grandfather was an emir. Right. But the issue is, if your father is not an emir, in the history of Kano, I have never seen an emir was appointed that his father was not an emir.
Even when the grandfather was an emir?
Even when the grandfather is an emir.
That's interesting.
So the grandfathers don't
the
count.
Grandfathers don't count. The grandfather was a businessman. He was the manager in one of the textiles in Kaduna. Of course, his father was an emir of Kano. But Labido's father was never an emir.
So you're saying the
Aminu,
grandsons can't, sorry to cut you here, grandsons can't take over the emirship from grandfathers.
What I'm saying is it has never happened in the history of Kano.
But that's not to say it's wrong.
It has never happened.
Okay.
So when you have people that are in a better place to occupy that position, they have to be considered first. Amina Ado has been a district head for over 30 years. This man has never been in the system, and that's why when he came, he messed up, and that's why he was removed.
Do you have this conversation, or does the Emirate or the Council of Chiefs also, do they have this kind of conversation with the governor and his cabinet? Because now that you say you have facts that some kind of exchange.
I am sure you are aware of what happened in Kaduna, when the kingmakers appointed somebody and the governor appointed his own man. I'm sure you're aware of that. It's not news.
So with what you're saying now, you're saying that the governor of a state should not be involved.
The governors dictate even to the kingmakers.
Should they not be involved in the appointment of?
You see, the governors are so strong. They always choose who they want to be the emir, even when you have the kingmakers.
So what's the way forward now?
If I was a kingmaker, the governor cannot do that. No governor can harass me or tell me what to do, because I know my right. I know my right. No governor can tell me this is the one I should choose when I know he's not the right person.
Now that there's this perpetual injunction restraining the 15th Emir, Aminu, Bayero, and 4 others, what's the way forward? How do you think this matter will be resolved?
I'm sure this court order is just an academic exercise. It has not. Wherever you have an order, the first order that came first, they must follow that order. What they were supposed to, the only thing they can do is appeal on that order, which they did, and the case is coming on the 17th of this month, in the next 3 days. But this lady, this judge, went and gave this ruling 3 days before that day, and this case that she gave this ruling, she slated it for the 18th to give the ruling. We don't know what happens. She decided to keep the ruling today. After she has, it's on record that this ruling of this same case will be delivered on the 18th.
Sarkin, we are out of time.
I hope you get what I'm saying. It's
yes,
very, very
we understand. We understand. We're out of time.
What motivated her to come
and we need to go now. We need to go. Let me come in. We need to go now. So what's the way forward if we can do this in 30 seconds?
Yeah. Well, the way forward is to follow the rule of law, and I'm appealing to the National Judicial Council to look into this case, especially when the Chief Justice was warning the judges on these conflicting orders.
All right, we'll have to look.
So we want to see what they are going to do on this issue.
All right.
That's why people are still saying that there is this judicial rascality.
We'll have to live.
It's very, very unfair.
Thank you very much. Aminu, Babba, Danagundi, Sarkin, Dawaki, Babba. Thank you very much for joining us on this.
Thank you very much, and have a good evening.